Now let's see very quickly how you can get the feedback in D2L. Go Assessments, Dropbox, where you'll go to the folder. For each draft there will be a different one. And what you want to do is towards the right, look at the View button. If you click on that, you will get the feedback. It'll show you the rubric at the bottom, and at the top it'll show you Originality report and the Grademark link. We'll look at that in a minute. On the rubric it'll show you exactly how much you were scored, and also on the right you'll get some feedback specifically. In this specific case, on precision, I did not rank the student because there was no real evaluation criteria. In relevancy, got 4, and you see the feedback, and that'll be true for each one of the criteria. The feedback on the right showing you how much you scored, and at the bottom it'll show you overall score and give you some idea about the overall feedback. If you look at the bottom, you'll get all of that in a different format, and of course also the grade on your paper. Now in a minute here we're going to look at your Originality report, and when you click on that colored bar, you will go to the Originality report, as you can see top left, and this is all in TurnItIn. Or if you click on Grademark, it'll take you to the Grademark function, where you can very specifically see the feedback that myself or my graduate assistant gave you. Let's look at some more specific examples of papers. Here is an Originality report that shows the student got a total of 36%. That's not original. And in each case it gives a little number at an area and tells me or you where that came from and the percentage of your paper that comes from that specific source. In total, the student got 36% from another source. But what you'll see is that there are quotation marks against each one of these. So it'll tell me where that quote comes from, but it'll also tell me that the student knew that because the student very specifically put that in quotations, and there is an appropriate citation. If you do that, of course it's going to find all of your quotations and flag them, but if they are appropriately cited and in quotation marks, that is completely acceptable, as was in this case. Of course, your bibliography too, since you copied that from somewhere else, is going to show up unless I specifically ask the system not to do that. Now here is another example of a paper that's a little more complicated. See, here is a lot of information that was copied from another source, and on the right it'll tell me where it came from. But in this case there are no quotation marks. Significant amount of this paper, 67%, came from other sources, and in many cases, as you can see, you have huge areas that were copied. Some cases with limited paraphrase, few words changed. That of course is completely unacceptable. Now if you click on Grademark, and you can also do that by clicking on Grademark inside, you will see what feedback we give you. Some feedback will come in little bubbles like that, in which we tell you something specific, or some of them will be template feedback, as in these cases, where interesting background, but is this really relevant to your paper? And then if you scroll down here, we give more feedback. For instance, here you're writing about coffee. Finally, you get into coffee, which is raising an issue about the relevance. Your comment about the thesis, very promising, but it's kind of late in the paper. And also that we should have topic sentences at the beginning of paragraphs. So here's some examples. I hope they're useful.